Southern Maryland Divers here, and it's lunchtime, and it's your dive master John doing the, well, anyway, we don't need that. I'm just here with my wife, but I thought it was pretty cool. Thanks, D. Wonder, wonderful mask. I really appreciate it. In any event, we're going to do jacket style BCDs today. Previous to this, I had done an overview of BCDs in general, jacket styles, back inflate, and today we're going to delve into the specifics on jacket styles that we carry here at the shop. And so we're going to get right into it. Jacket styles. The first one is the Pro HD. We carry Aqualung, and they've got reason to do that is because frankly I think they're pretty much top of the line gear. Part of that starts off with just the materials that they use. It's top flight materials, and what you'll find is, for instance, the basic material they use, the dyes, for instance, stay they don't wash out. You don't in the chlorine and stuff. For instance, the gear that we use for training in the pool constantly, it's about 4 years old, and yet it still looks very good. And for normal divers, for typical divers, that's probably about 10-15 years worth of diving that gear gets, and it still looks very, very good. So this gear stands up very well to use and abuse. So again, it'll stay looking fresh and new through a long period of time. Okay, so the material it stands up to abrasion, and you know, everything you can possibly, you know, all the abuse you can throw at it. So onward and upward. So one of the things about it, this particular piece is it's very adaptable to size. So for instance, you lose some weight, or let's say you're spending at home spending too much time in front of the refrigerator. You've gotten a tan from the light bulb in the refrigerator, and you need to get a little bit bigger. Well, that's okay. This can adapt to what you need to do. Okay, so that opens up, and your clip. This also has a wide ability to adjust downward, or if necessary, outward. So it can adjust to a wide variety of body types within a given size range. Okay. Also, in terms of height, these height adjustments on the shoulder strap. Okay, depending upon where you are, you can adjust the height of on the shoulders as well. Okay, so that's that. And of course, you still have easy don and doffing. You don't have to struggle getting your arms in and out of these, out of when you're trying. Your gear's all wet. You got your computer on your wrist or whatnot, and boom, and you're out of there. Okay, just get up and walk away from the gear. So very nice feature. Okay, so that's another nice thing about this is it has a lot of storage space on it. Okay, so it has pockets on both sides, left and right. And the other nice thing about the pocket is it has more than one chain, a pull chain. It has pull on both sides. So depending upon whether you're left-handed or you're right-handed, or what you got going on, you can access this from both ends. All right, both sides, and both sides are like that. Okay. Additionally, for gear, you have a number of attachment points. You have a number of clips to clip gear off on, whether it's rec reels, you're going diving for meg teeth, and you've got a neat place to clip things off for your cameras or your SMD or whatnot. You have a number of attachment points on this. So it's way to go. As far as weights are concerned, this comes with the SureLock system. Lets you put your gear, your weights in, and you listen. Yes, good connection there. Okay, so that makes it very simple to get your weight on. It's easy to take it on, put it in, and easy to take it out. So if you've got to hand your weights up to somebody, boom, they're easy to take out, and they're also easy to snap back into place again. Okay. Other thing I like about this particular BCD is the dump valves. Okay, the dump valves, if you notice, they're slim, flat. They're very smooth, so they're not going to catch on anything. Also, the handles are very large, so even if you're wearing gloves, They're easy to get a hold of, whether on the top or whether they're on the bottom. Also, as far as weights are concerned, as those are on the back side, is this has nice trim pocket weights. So if you find you're not carrying enough weight, or that you want to move some weight from the front to the back to help you with your trim, depending upon what your trim is, these are great places for trimming. These aren't dumpable, but typically that you're not carrying that much weight in these. These are more for to help your trim in the water. And so you have two of these pockets on the side to balance, and these go around the tank.
Can these be used as a parachute harness?
If you're using these as a parachute harness, you've got bigger problems than needing a parachute. Okay. No, that's a different sport. No. And another thing about this particular BCD is you got your gear all geared up, and you don't want to. You're a little paranoid about carrying your gear by the. You got the tank all set up and the regulator all set up, and you want to carry it. This has a built-in carrying handle that you can grab a hold of, okay, and pull and carry your gear with the tank and everything all attached by the handle. So this makes it very convenient for carrying. Now, as far as danglies are concerned, one of the nice things about the jacket style BCDs is built-in ease of getting rid of danglies. So with this particular model, you simply slide this in. And there you go. There's your pressure gauge, or your built-in dive computer, whatever you need is there on that side. As far as your octo, the octo goes on the other side, and the octo slides in the octo pocket like thusly. Boom. And so you don't have to worry about danglies, and everything is very easy to hold. If you need your octo, boom. You want to take a look at your pressure gauge, your depth, find out. All you have to do is look down, turn it to where you need it, take a peek, and you're off and running. If you need to pull it out a little bit, you can do that as well. So it's very, very useful in that regard.
What if I inflate it too much? Will it pop like a balloon?
No, it won't do that. The overflow valves, these valves here, they'll release. They won't let they won't let that happen. It'll pop if you put too much air in it. They'll just release the extra air. Not to worry, it won't blow up in the water. Matter of fact, when we test these, one of the things we test the bladder for is we'll fill it up to the point where the air actually escapes from the bladder from these, and then when it stops, then the bladder is completely full. And then we let it sit for a while and see if it deflates any further. If it continues to deflate even after this is bypassed, then we know we have a problem with the bladder or with one of the valves. So it's a way we test. It's one of the ways we test these things. Okay, so.
One more question.
Yeah.
What's involved with keeping it up to specs and safe? And do I have to maintain it like a regulator?
Yes, you do. You should bring that in on. You should bring it in regularly with your regulator. Bring it in on an annual basis. Let us take a look at it. There's things that need to be checked. For instance, on any BCD, there's things that need to be checked. These valves, they need to be checked as well, and there's O-rings and in here that stand to be replaced. Like I said, we check them. They don't necessarily need to be replaced every year like your regulator, but every once in a while they do need to be serviced. But we at least need to be able to check them. And the same thing goes true with your inflator and deflator hose. A lot of people don't do a good job of rinsing these out, and consequently you get a lot of salt buildup in here, and these can stick on you, and that can cause a little bit of a problem if you're under the water. So you may be inflating, and then it continues to inflate even though your finger's not on the button any longer. So always wise to with this gear is to make sure that you rinse it thoroughly after you've been diving, whether it's salt water or chlorine or even mud. Make sure that this gets rinsed thoroughly And while it's underwater, press the button a few times. Make sure you get all the salt crystals out and all the stuff out of there, and it will help immensely. And also, these all come with a little knob. Make sure that gets covered up too. Okay, make sure that gets, just like with your regulator, you want that cap on there when you stick this in the water. Okay, so make sure you work those underwater. Make sure they get nice and some movement in there, so they don't get stuck. Okay, so onward and upward. So that's the Pro HD. Now we're going to move on to the Axiom. The Axiom is a bit different. Same jacket style, but it is a bit different. Primary difference is you're going to see is in the way it handles the way you handle the way it handles the tank. Okay. The tank system is a lot different. One of the things I like about this a lot, it has the trim pockets. It has the Shorelock system. It has the pockets for storage. But what it does have that's different is what's called the Rapture system, and that's not, you're not going to be called up into heaven when you use this. You think you're in heaven. What happens is when you're trying to put your tank on, we're all familiar with having to lift the BCD up over top of the tank and set it back down again. And you know, that can be heavy when you have the weights in it. You gotta lift it up. It's like a little bit of a gym workout. With this one though, it's nice because it opens up and you can just put it down, slide this on the back of the tank, and hit it. And at that point, it will lock. And then you get your fingers out of the way, boom, and it snaps closed. Now the other nice thing about this is that has a Velcro strap in here, right? And if you notice, this has different places on it, and this is for different sized tanks, for smaller tanks, for the 80s, and for the big boys. Okay, so you have some different presets that you can go for. So this is basically for the 80s, right? And then you do, when you first set this thing up for your particular tank, and then over here on this side you have another one for fine tuning it. So once you get it set up, boom, you're done for the day. You keep going from you're down in the Caribbean, or you're diving with your aluminum 80s, boom, you're set, you're ready to go. And you no more getting your fingers caught when you're trying to put your tank on. Really great idea. I love this thing. I love this. This is a great setup for tanks. And then that's definitely. Now the Rapture system, what it does is, if you notice on this, usually these tank straps are normally up a little bit higher on most things, and some of them have some have two. This one has a single one is down low. What part of this does is, you see this part here. What this does is it wraps around your waist, okay, and it has a steel plate that's attached to it, and that's what the belt is attached to, is a steel plate. And what happens is the tank will it keeps the tank at a proper angle, so it puts the weight of the whole system on your waist area, okay. And so what happens is, normally if you see divers when they're walking, they're all doing this kind of walk, the Cro-Magnon walk. You know, they're walking like this. You know, it's the caveman walk. And they're doing this all around. And if you've been on a boat and it's moving around, it gets a little bit more difficult when you're balanced, when you're trying to stand up like that. With this system, you stand upright. It puts the weight. The weight, since it's on your waist, you have a tendency to stand up straight, and so your center of gravity is more in the middle, more normal, more what you're used to, so you're able to keep your balance a lot better in any kind of environment. And it's more comfortable, it's easier on your back, and it's a lot easier to deal with. It's an excellent system for dealing with the weight of the whole dive system. Another thing that makes it a little bit easier is if you look at it, is compared to the other ones, if you look at the straps that hold the shoulder straps on, they don't go straight down, which all the others do. These head off at an angle. They go down like that. And so again, it goes towards keeping the system a lot more comfortable around your waist than the others do. Okay, and again, it has the chest strap as well. Okay, so it's got that going for it as well, and it still has. Let's go. It swivels, so it's dependent upon your size and what's going on. This is a little bit more forgiving in terms of body shape and style. It also has more, if you look at it, it has more attachment points. It has 2 of these D-rings on it, and has more points here, and also on the side for attachment. Okay, so this is another excellent choice. A little more expensive than the entry level, obviously, but this is an excellent choice. And of course, it has the dump valves again, the large handle dump valves at the top and the bottom. Okay, so that's the Axiom. Now, the last one on the list that we have here is, now this one is called the Soul, but this is specifically for women. It's basically an Axiom, which I just kind of went over with you, but the only difference is it has this device here, which is the i3, and what this does is, if you notice, there's no inflator deflator hose. It doesn't exist. Instead of hitting a button, you release. You want to lose air down. You want to increase the air, you push up. So it depends upon what's going on. It's just a simple lever switch that you push up and down, and it works. That's how you do it. So there's none of this. Oh, what do I do? Do I it still has buttons. It still has the pull levers here. But for the upper one, the rest of it is it's automated. It just lets it out. So you have that option. Now, if you want to manually inflate, for some reason things have gone south and you want to manually inflate, that's your manual inflation for those of you who are interested in that. So that's how that works for manual inflation. So that's style. Again, you can see it has a nice locking system on the back for tanks, the trim pads, and the pockets, the D-rings. It's a nice BCD as well. Again, this is just simplifies your buoyancy control. So okay, and that is the basically that goes through the bulk of the jacket style BCDs that we have in stock.
Can you get the i3 or the 13 inflator on the Axiom?
Yeah, basically that is the Axiom. That's available on the Axiom. The Axiom comes. That's a step up on the Axiom. Is that with that inflator? So you can get that. That's the i3. That's called the i3. It's basically the Axiom with the inflator on it. It's a step up. It's the GMC of Chevrolet, if you will. So there you go. It is available. We'd have to order that though for you. Okay. Usually we sell. Just so you know, we tend to sell a lot more of these too. This particular one is called the Soul, and it's more designed for the shape of it and the sizes of it is more designed towards women's sizes. But like I said, there is a version available for men as well if you're into it. Are there any other questions? If not, guys, stay safe. I'll see you Friday, and we'll talk about back inflating. All right?